Trade Organization. So if the US-China relation turns bad.
So if you look at the magnitude, China is probably trying to engineer a similar cost of around 10% of tariff that US has put on China, but it's just China decide that it's going to take a more targeted approach to minimize certain supply chain disruption that it may able or it could have suffered.
Trade flows in and out of Hong Kong.
China is trying to project itself not only as one of the biggest market in the world, but also from the supply chain perspective, it is one of the biggest manufacturers in many products, especially in the upstream. So I think the combination of using the selected tariff, export control, and the restriction on market access to certain US firms basically reflect that China's is trying to increase its bargaining chips and show the US that is a capability in terms of the negotiation process.
Hong Kong is also able to attract some of the wealth from the greater Bay Area.
So far, it may be more on the symbolic side at this moment. But if this actually further escalate, it is really about the question on whether US firms can continue to sell services, especially related to technology into China. And if we have that in mind, then that would actually be quite a bigger issue, because if you look at the US, it may have trade deficit versus China. But if you look at services, the US indeed has trade surplus. So I think it kind of uncover like basically an area that Trump or maybe generally the market hasn't really paid too much attention to. It is one of the two that China may use, especially when it tries to boost the domestic substitution process in a lot of this tech or basically software type of sectors.
Solve this problem without causing the collapse of the home price?
Well, first it is really about the trade surplus that the US is looking at in a rather negative way. So if China is willing to buy more goods from the US, then probably it can solve part of the problem. But of course, other issues remain would be the curb on the tech sector, of which whether the US is willing to export a certain type of chips to China and reduce the pressure, at least in the access of the China chips and the development of AI. This will be another sharp focus. But of course, beyond the economic issue, China may bring the other issues on Taiwan, etc. to the table, but it's probably hard to see any material change in this round of the trade war negotiation.
This is not only about the decline from the very top end that, of course, attract the most attention. It's about